Or delete that part.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. For the record, this is the only way I can keep these ladies from bothering me by recording this. Anyways, beginning now.
I don't think recording will save you.
Really don't know us.
Okay. So inshallah, today we're going to discuss Scoutbook, because this is one of the things that is one of the tools that leaders need to know about, inshallah. So there's a presentation here, and we're gonna start with the presentation. Now this is a canned presentation. So we're just gonna run through this presentation as an overview. Once we go through this overview, then we're just gonna then go through the Scoutbook. Okay, so this was put together by the User Advisory Council. So Scoutbook, by the way, was a application that was developed first independently from the Boy Scouts of America, and then Scoutbook acquired Boy Scouts of America acquired Scoutbook and integrated it as part of their system. The back-end database for the Boy Scouts of America is something called ScoutNet. So there is a back-end system. And so they are continuously developing ways to provide a front-end interface to their back-end system. So just understand that Scoutbook just is a front-end interface to the back-end database system. Okay, so just again, a little bit of history. There was a lot of old computer tracking systems. So they're referring to there was, I can't even remember it now. There was some systems that were being used by a lot of people that were used, that were just you would have to run it only on your computer. And they weren't really cloud-based, they weren't interconnected, they weren't on a network, and only one person in the unit could run it. And then they had some arcane ways of connecting it via FTP, and it was really difficult. It was a pain in the petunia, but I did use it initially when I was first a Cub Master. They were very difficult to use, and again, only limited people could enter the data into the system and access the system, so it was very difficult to use. And you could only get limited, again, only a few people could print out reports, and then those people were the only people who could distribute the report. So, in fact, there used to be people used to have positions in the troop, and they were basically the it literally was like they were the database administrator. So being able to have Scoutbook and we, of course, in our unit were using Troop Track, and we started using Troop Track right away, and that was, you don't know how much of a revolution that was compared to what other units were using. Troop Track was cloud-based and provided a lot of capabilities. And for all the headaches people may think that Troop Track was, actually it's quite a time saver compared to what was out there. And it still is a pretty advanced system, relatively speaking. Even if you look at what Scoutbook offers right now. Scoutbook, again, though, what its basic offering is that it does connect as a back-end system. Key thing though, it's web-based, and it's which means you have a web browser, and that's a tool that you already have. But there's also apps that you can put on your phone. Okay. The key thing though is now advancement can be signed off in real time by the examiners. So merit badge counselors can actually, you really don't actually need a blue card anymore. You can use the apps or the Scoutbook directly through the web interface. You don't really actually need a blue card anymore to do that. So this is a key advantage over previous times. Parents, therefore, can monitor the progress towards the ranks by logging in and can see what's going on. and scouts as well. This was a challenge because before only the advancement chair was really the only one who was really able to keep a good track of what was going on. Now it's a lot more transparent. Of course, Scoutbook is being owned by BSA. It really makes it a one-stop shop for all the activities to be tracked as well. You know, when since a lot of when you do something, when there's a camping event or certain types of activities, these things can count towards rank or count towards an award. So you want to record these in Scoutbook. So that's an important thing to consider. We keep all of your records in the database. Okay. Remember, this is the purpose for advancement reporting. Okay, that's what it's used for. You also have the unit rosters in here, so it does now have synchronization with the unit rosters, and then there is a feature there for unit forums, so the units can have discussions in there as well. You can also a feature that we can track as well is to have our unit calendar in there. That's important because then we can keep attendance, who attended what at the end of the year. Then we'll be able to know what was our when we want to do our journey to excellence. We'll be able to look at our calendar in the Scoutbook and see what was there. You can also email from there. As you notice, Sister Zora has been RSVPing, making a comment. I don't know if you all saw it, but I'm seeing her comment saying, "Hey, I just RSVP'd," and so forth and so on. So that's a good thing.
Can I ask a quick question about that, please?
Yeah.
You want me to wait?
Yes.
Okay. So when you RSVP, you have to log in to see it, or you get a notification kind of thing?
I saw as an email.
Yes, I know. Okay.
Yep. And of course, you can have a payment log of capability in there. And you can also receive and send messages, photos to leaders, and merit badge counselors when there's advancement. This is just some screenshots. And again, I'm going to bust it open and we'll look at it more detailed. Since this is a demo, and since this power, to keep privacy of the scouts, and since this PowerPoint could be used elsewhere, I didn't change out the screenshots for real time. But you can see from here, let's say this is Unit 14 or Troop 14, and you can see this is what different patrols for this troop. Of course, this also works for venturing. It can work for PAC, a Sea Scout ship, and even an Explorer post. You can see what's the upcoming events going on here, and you can see how well the leader training is, and you can even see the JTE score. Well, it looks like this is a coming soon feature, but that was at the time of this screenshot, which again, this was back in January of last year. So I have to take a look and see if that's actually now. Okay, and you can also see query by scout or by patrol. So for our crew, we don't have patrols, but you can see for the troop that this would be a capability. So this is how it looks like for a scout. So for each of our venturers, actually you can see the advancement if they were in a Scouts PSA unit. You can see their advancement from their Scouts PSA, and you can see their advancement from within the crew. You can see both, and any other additional awards that they get. That all will be shown in here, everything. Their rank, their percent to the next rank, and all the earned ranks and merit badges, whatever awards, and you can get even reports. Okay, you can see even the completed ranks they're working on, merit badges, how far along they are. And remember, this is something that the scouts can see for themselves too. If you look here, realize that sometimes requirements change. So depending on when they started it, maybe like on this particular one, this is based upon the 2016 requirements. So this is the latest requirements. So that's the version. So so this is important to take note on. If they earned their first class a long time ago, based when it was on 2013 requirements, it will demonstrate that there automatically. Okay. If you need, you can always print the blue card through here too. So if we actually do have some blue card stock, you can print it on blue card stock. So you can actually have a physical version of it as well. By the way, this is a little FYI. What's really important, the printed copy or the hard copy, that's good for the Scouts record. It's maybe good for the counselor's record. But what's truly only important for the council and for the national is what's electronic. So the hard copy is good in case any of the electronic stuff gets messed up. Okay. So, and the approvals can be done here, and there can also be some notes that notes that can be indicated as well. Blue cards still need to be used for an official written record of earning the merit badge. This is what is being said in the Guide to Advancement. And one thing I wanted to tell you is this is where you can add notes, comments, and photos. So let's say a scout is doing a requirement, especially in this day of scouting from home, and they prove that they did a particular requirement, they can post a photo of that requirement. Okay, I did X, Y, and Z. Boom. Okay, show me. So they could post that right here. Okay, so you can send emails. By the way, if you're sending it in this methodology, right, you got youth protection here. Okay, this is how you can put your events in here. And this subscribe feature is how you can also sync with Google Calendar. So you can get Google Calendar from this. I was actually going to, I didn't have time, but I actually took the screenshots. But I'm going to show you today how you can actually get your Google Calendar from Scoutbook. Okay, so I already mentioned this. Scoutbook supports all these types of units. Key thing to know again is just all this yada, 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 yada stuff. But bottom line is using Scoutbook protects privacy and adheres to the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. That's the bottom line. Okay, if you use Scoutbook. And it does not replace the handbooks, nor does it replace the merit badge pamphlets. And it's free. Woohoo! Okay, I did update this last slide because some of this was out of date. Why was it out of date? Because some of the help, they are now redirecting all questions. You have to go to your local council for support. If you can't figure it out using the online forums, you got to go to your local council for support. And we lost Shahanaz for some reason. Shahanaz, I think she's trying to use the same account as you, Norlita, and that might be causing a problem.
I thought, no, she went in Scoutbook, I thought.
What do you mean same account?
She's logging on with online meetings.
I'm logging through the Scoutbook.
Norlita, she's logging on with the Zoom account online meetings.
Okay.
Let that sink in for a moment. You're authenticating
Yeah,
to Zoom.
your name is also showing as online meeting, Nolita.
Nolita, you're authenticating to Zoom with meet@muslimscouting.org.
Right.
Yes, Shahanaz is using the same one.
Yeah, I think so.
Both of you cannot use the same one at the same time.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to get out?
Why don't you
No.
do that? Because you probably won't realize it.
Let me see. Let me tell her to.
No. Let Nolita change.
Let me change first and then you can.
Yeah, Nolita can. She has another account. I know for sure. Uh-oh, we don't have youth protection now, Sister Zora.
Oh, astaghfirullah. So Scoutbook, I mean, I'm gonna ask again these questions for the so they know. At one point, I remember they didn't have the group email, but now they support group emails. I mean, if I want to send an email to the whole troop.
Yeah, I guess they do. I haven't had it.
At one point in the beginning, they didn't have that feature, but they did have emailing and emailing the individuals. Oh,
Well, we can test that out while we're moving forward.
okay. Shahinaz.
Oh, so Shahnaz came back with her own.
Yeah,
I should have told Nolita just wait.
yeah. I think her computer died or something. She must have been logging in from phone. Oh, I lost you. No, we lost you.
Who? And now continuing our training.
Did we
Okay,
ever stop? No.
so we're gonna move on and we're gonna do some practical hands-on now. Okay. So here we are with Scoutbook. So I'm gonna say I'm not a robot and I'm gonna log in. Okay. So the first thing you see here is I'm gonna log on and I'm gonna go to my dashboard and I can see the crew and I can see the upcoming events. This is today's event. And I can see I'm gonna track and who's in attendance. Sister Zoro's in attendance, I'm in attendance, Norlita's in attendance. Okay, who else is in attendance? Sister Shahanaz is in attendance. So we're gonna save that. That's it. That's who's in attendance. Okay. So now we've tracked who was in attendance based upon who was invited. Okay. Now, how did we set that? Okay. I'm gonna go up to the next instance of this. And I'm gonna hit edit event. And I turned on the RSVP and I'm gonna hit manage reminders. And I'm gonna look at what are the reminders that are set. There's none set. Okay. So I can set one to be for 1 hour ahead of time, 4 hours ahead of time, one day before, and 3 days before. So you can see there are 4 selected. I'm going to hit set. So 3 days, 1 day, 4 hours, and 1 hour. And I'm going to hit save. And it says, are you sure you want 3 occurrences of this event? This is because even though I did 5 initially, we've already had 2, and this is affecting the next 3. So I'm saying, okay. So this is affecting only the next 3, and it actually ran through those next 3 and all the way up through November 6th. So if I click on my calendar, and I go back to here, and I click on the edit event, I do see now that the reminders are set. Okay. I had to manually turn on the RSVP, otherwise RSVP would not have been turned on. Okay. And you can see the next one is set for October 9th. So for the location map URL, I put the Zoom URL. For location, I put Zoom meeting. For name, I called it Crew 114. Event type is a pull down. I put it training and I had to set it. Calendar, I had to set this to be Crew 114. This one is not a pull down. This one is a fill in. This one, you click it and you set it. Here, what is the interval? Because I made this a repeating one. And I said the interval was every 14 days. This is not an outdoor activity, so I didn't track that. If I was managing advancement, I could say what requirement this was going against. This was going against a venturing award. I could say which one it was going against. This is a piece of information that could go in here as the event description. And then this one's only seen by the admins. I'm not changing anything here, so I'm just going to hit cancel. If I wanted to delete just a specific event, I would have hit delete. Now, I want to get if I want to be able to add this to my Google Calendar, I click subscribe, and I'll get this URL. I can copy and paste this URL. I can come to my Google Calendar. Let me get a calendar that's not so busy. So I would click on other calendars from URL. I paste it in there. I have the option of making it publicly accessible. That's if I want to share that with others, but I don't recommend it because you already are. It's already publicly accessible through this. So I just say add calendar. Now it shows up. Scoutbook Crew 114. Come back in here, and now I see it. I can quickly change it to whatever color I like. Maybe because it's venturing, I want it green. I don't want it the same color as another one. So there. If I want to see my calendars in a different format, boom. So now I can see. This makes it easy for me to see when I look at my Google Calendar. I can look at my personal calendar versus the crew calendar. And this is the crew calendar as populated from Scoutbook. You cannot add to this one directly. You have to add to it through Scoutbook. And if you make a change through Scoutbook, let's say I change this event in Scoutbook, it may take until the next day for it to show as an update here. Just as an FYI. Because it will sync every, like, a new thing might show up right away, but an edit might take a sync cycle for it to occur. Okay, but that's how you can use the subscribe feature.
Can we repeat the whole process again? I think it's too much of information to sink in from create the event to create the calendar.
All right, I just actually removed the calendar too. All right. So we are here. We want to see the calendars.
Can we try it instead of you?
Well, let me do it one more time.
Okay.
Okay, and you can do it on your own. All right. So you come in here and what you want to do is you can come in here and you go on to my dashboard. Okay, and you go into the crew and you can see what's upcoming events. Okay, that's one way to get to here. Okay, another way is you can click events here and you can click on my calendar. And where it says subscribe, down here, you'll see a subscribe. Okay, again, this is how you, if you want to be able to see this calendar in your Google Calendar or iPhone calendar or Outlook calendar or whatever. Okay. You click on subscribe and it tells you want to add this calendar, your Google Calendar or other calendaring program. Copy and paste this calendar URL to your favorite calendar program that supports this format. You copy it. Who else is trying to get in here? Sister Shawnaz, you're trying to get back in?
Yes, please.
Why?
Because this is with the phone, I'm getting old, I can't see.
Oh.
You want to make it bigger?
No, I'm going to try the laptop again, hopefully.
Oh,
it will
okay.
work. Okay.
Sister Shahnaz.
You need to turn your phone off.
I did.
I muted her. Okay. You thought you could get away with just watching it through your phone. Okay. All right. So again, and by the way, this is recorded for a reason, so you don't have to have me repeat it again. You can watch this as many times as you want. You can go as many times as you want.
Does this happen the same thing? The Nurlida and Shahinaz, they're in with the same link.
Yeah. So I know. We'll see what happens. They may never ever learn, but we'll see.
What do you mean they may not ever?
Don't you ever say that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
What
welcome.
do you mean?
We'll see.
What do you mean?
You guys may collide. It's timelines.
That's why I'm asking for the password.
What
Yeah,
password?
she did, and you told me to ask her to get in with the online.
What password?
You know, when you send the link, it's only link without the password, without the member ID. So I rely totally on the link. If I'm gonna use for my own without the online, I need the password.
You want the meeting password.
Yeah, there's no other password.
Sure, there's your account password.
So Nurlida, you know what I did? I don't log in with the Zoom. I have logged in Zoom with No Muslim Scouting. So when they ask me for password, I just go on my login with Muslim Scouting. So they have all my credentials there. So I go on, when I clicked on the link, it showed me how to log in. So I said, log in with my Muslim Scouting. And that's it. It just asked me my first name, last name, and that's it. It let me in.
Yeah, so what Sister Zora is saying is if you, let me show that in a little bit, one step at a time, because that's actually a nice little trick, and Sister Zora's figured that out.
For me, they didn't ask me for anything. I just went to the
Right.
calendar.
Okay,
I went.
we won't get it. Well, let's one step at a time. One step at a time.
Yeah.
Whoa. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Because we want to learn.
Okay, one step at a time. Because somebody's still not understanding how to add this to the calendar, and we're going to get to that point. So one step at a time. Okay. So right now we're at how to add this to your calendar, and we're going to get to how then you can actually then see these other things, because this is that step will be there. So once you get here, you copy and paste this here. All right. And you come into your Google account as an example. So I'm logging into my Google account. And I'm gonna add another, I have to go to other calendars, and I'm gonna choose from URL. I'm gonna paste in here, and I'm gonna hit add calendar. Once I've done that, it says calendar added, and it shows up right here. If you don't know how to do this, you just say add calendar ICS to Google. Okay, and it says, how do I import ICS file into Google Calendar? That's one way to do it. Or how do I add an iCal event file to your Google Calendar? So there's ways to show you how to do it. But I was in the process of doing screenshots. I just didn't get a chance to finish. I've made some screenshots on how this is done, but I didn't have a chance to complete that process in putting it together. Okay, so once this is done, you'll now see it in here. So why was I saying it's important one step at a time? So today's the 25th. If I come in here now, I see this here. Okay. If I see this here and I say duplicate, and I copy that to my I can copy this to my other calendars. If you copy it to your personal calendar, your personal whatever calendar you use, then that's the one, and that's the one you use to log in with your Zoom. It will sync with your Zoom calendar. Zoom will sync with that calendar, and it will pop up. That's what Sister Zora is doing. So, for example, let me log in with my MuslimScouting.org calendar. When I come in here, here's this one. This is the Scoutbook Crew 114. If I say copy this to my personal calendar, okay, I'm going to hit save. Now I see that here. Now if I open up Zoom, I would see it here. I will see the meeting in here. That's the key thing. And or I just have to click right here and open up. So that's the key thing. Why it's convenient to keep everything like that. That's the advantage. And Yeah, as soon as I get a chance, I'll add this because I was showing how to create a calendar in Google using updated. So I was putting that together for you guys. All right. So do you guys want to try that now on your own?
So I don't know what you did, how you added the calendar, but that's what not I was. That's how I don't do it. If you go back to that screen, or from where the link was with the Google Cal, not with the Zoom. So I clicked on from the event. I clicked on the Google whatever Zoom meeting, and then it asked me for my password, and I said just sign me in with Muslim Scouting.
Okay, what don't you understand, or what are you trying to do?
So this is just the adding the calendar, what you just did. You know, the add calendar over here on the personal calendar, and then log in to Zoom from there. I did not do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're able to create, you're able to have a copy of the Scoutbook calendar show up as a calendar item on
No.
your calendar.
No. So what I did, may I share my screen or no?
Well, I'm trying to,
Because if you go back on Scoutbook page,
Yeah. Yeah.
not this one, the invite page, right here. See, it says Zoom meeting up there.
Yep.
So I clicked on that Zoom meeting.
Mm-hmm.
There was a link.
Yep.
Yeah, I said open Zoom. I clicked on that one.
Yep.
And it asked me, how do you log in or enter your password? But I said, log me in with Muslim Google account.
Yep.
Just log me in with Google account.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
putting password. That's what I was telling Norlida.
Yeah. Okay. I understand.
That's what
that.
happened to me too. I click in, but for me, it doesn't even ask anything, and it's automatically go to the waiting room.
Right.
I think it's also because you're the host also.
No, it
I
went
don't
to the waiting room because I wasn't here and to admit you. So we're getting into discussion about Zoom right now. That's separate discussion.
Yeah, I know, but we have to solve this problem. Otherwise, we're going to have the same problem next.
Let's solve the problem for the lesson I'm teaching right now. Then we can go to that Zoom. So let's first right now, do you understand? It sounds like you guys don't understand how to add the Scoutbook calendar to your Google.
I already got that one.
Sister Zora doesn't seem to get that.
No, I got it. I got
Okay.
it because I already did it before.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay, Sister Shahanaz, do you get it?
I think I do, because you gave me the lesson last time when we did the
Okay.
Zoom. I was able to add the, actually, you didn't give me the lesson of the calendar. We were going to do it, but I've been adding it for the troop, but on the regular calendar, on Google Calendar. And that's how I logged into the meeting today.
From Google, you clicked
From
on.
Google Calendar last week, I think you or Norlida added it there. So I clicked on the last week, get the URL and paste it, and I logged in.
Perfect. Yep, that would have worked actually. Great. Okay, now you're asking about Zoom. That's a different lesson. So if we go into Zoom and we go into meetings, one thing I've learned, and this is very peculiar to me, recurring meetings don't always show up here for whatever reason. Depends on where you set them up. So if you set them up in your client, you can see them. So I set up this meeting for whatever in the client here. So this is here. if I click edit here, I can see this. And I can say enable join before host, which is what I had done. You should have been able to join ahead of me. Oh, I created a waiting room. Oop. I think this is, Shahana's got knocked off because of, Nolita, you and her are logging on with the same Zoom account.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
This is what we were trying to tell you guys.
Yes,
So-
I understand that too.
So because you and Nurlida, you both have the same link for Zoom,
Yeah,
right? So that's
Yeah.
why it's happening.
that's why I don't want to use, that's why
That's why
I left and I'm going to use mine. But if I use mine, I need the password.
Okay, but meeting password, Nolita. Not
Why is it?
Zara, you mute.
the
No.
passcode is crew 114, Nolita.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was talking to Shaina, so that's why I just muted myself. So for whatever reason, she is able to log in and stay on her cell phone, but every time she logs in on the computer, she gets kicked out. Why is that?
Because she stays on the phone, she gotta stay on just
Let her
one
get on.
device.
Nolita, can you please log off and use the meet? And I didn't, when you said password, I'm thinking you're talking about your account password. You meant the meeting room passcode. So use the passcode of crew 114, capital C.
Okay.
It didn't ask me the password.
What?
It did not ask me the passcode.
Because you're not having a conflict. I don't.
Okay.
I won't. Because Nolita's using I think an unauthenticated account. You see how Nolita's account says guest? I don't know. Shahana's needs to use.
So can I tell Shahnas to just go ahead and use whatever she was using?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to tell her.
So we both use Meet at Muslim Scouting, that's why.
Oops.
Oops.
Be at your good behavior, guys.
Okay, mute.
Okay. So one of the questions is now, how do we have the integration with Slack? Okay. So you can have calendar integration with Slack. And I think part of the reason why we haven't seen the calendar stuff, a lot has to do, I believe, because of where it's coming from. So actually, I did see it last week, but why didn't we see it this week? Right? This was the question. Why didn't it pop up this week?
Right.
Yeah. And that's interesting because I don't have a good answer, maybe for whatever reason. Slack didn't do the job of doing its cron job or whatever it does. Okay, so what we have to do is look at the integration. Now I set this up a long time ago. So we go in here and we'll set up the settings. And it says, do this, post reminders 4 hours before an event, and for all day reminders the day of 9 a.m. Calendar updates, an event is created, event title, okay? And you can also do daily summaries. or weekly summaries. So we can also do daily summaries. Save integrations. We're unable to tell Google Calendar work with Slack. So something's wrong. Let me remove this one. Okay.
On purpose, you're not sharing what you're doing? Your screen.
No, I don't think so. He's sharing his screen. Now he's trying to share his screen.
With all the craziness, the sharing stopped. Okay. All right. So I'm going to delete all these configurations because you can only do so many integrations. That's an issue because we have an unpaid one.
Unpaid Slack, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why this one is there. Let me take it out. We don't need Snagit here. We don't need Twitter here.
Yeah, unpaid Slack, you only can put certain amount of files.
Some of this could be from, because I have a lot of Slack, and so it could be if I configure with one, it's configuring different workspaces. Okay, let me do this too now. Let me log in. I'm logged in right now to Slack with my personal account. I'm going to log in with another browser. I'm using Edge, which is the new Internet Explorer. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys remember, I created Manal was the first person who created the Crew 114. But then what I did is I created an owner account for this. So there's an owner account for this account. That way it's not a person. And let me find that account. I'm looking it up. Oh, what the heck happened to that one? Well, it may be tied to this address, which I don't think you guys took me off. You guys see that email password?
You said the password.
check your guys' email account, because I think you guys removed me from this one.
I didn't remove anybody.
Am I still in this account?
You're asking about Crew 114?
Is there a password from Slack? A password reset?
I didn't receive anything yet.
Okay, hang on a second.
I received the Slack via Crew.
So it says you need to use this link to sign in. That's what it says.
Okay.
Password.
Can you copy that into this, into our Slack, committee Slack? That link? So let me know when you got that.
Yeah, I checked it on my phone, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it here. I love you too, Hamomi. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not on mute. They're talking in the back and they're saying, no, I love my mother more, whatever they're saying. And I just said, I love you too. I'm so sorry. Rather, should I forwarded you that?
I see. Oh, let's see. You didn't click on it yourself, did you?
Sorry?
Had you clicked on that?
On,
Use this link to sign in?
I sure did. It seems like I did. I just clicked on, I went on it and then it just signed me in because I'm just as surprised looking at it. Why is it Slack on my desktop?
Yeah, son of a gun. Okay, guys, listen. There's a reason why. Okay.
I'm gonna sign out.
No, yeah. Okay. I'm putting myself back into that. There's a reason why I'm still not trying to disengage myself from all of my safeguards here. So hang on. Until I certify myself as completely done. Let's see. It's too much hublub. Okay. Don't check your email. Don't click on anything, please.
But it's hard when you said don't check your email. Now I want to check it.
I have a solution for that if you do. Okay. Okay, the key thing what I'm trying to do to show here is I am now signed in as come on. So I'm not signed in as, I'm signed in, if you can say, as an organizational account. Okay, I'm signed in as Crew 114. So, and this is the owner of it. So what I always try to do is never make a person the owner of anything. Okay. I always try to make sure that there is an organizational thing. Okay. That's why I have a distribution address. Something happens, it's recoverable. If somebody gets hit by a bus, that's how we said it in the military. There's always a way that we can recover. That's the bottom line thing to bottom line lesson here. So that's the biggest key thing here. Okay, what else was I trying to get at? We're trying to look at the apps. So if we're trying to look at the Google Calendar, and this is the reason why I'm trying to add it through here. So if I add the Google Calendar here, so this way it's not owned by me, it's owned by an organizational thing. So we're going to allow this one. Use another account. Okay, so this is the hard part. We wanted to sign in. Nope, we don't want it to do it this way. Oh, okay. That's the part. It wants to sign in with an account. So that therein lies the challenge. I'm sorry. Okay. So that therein lies the integration, Google Calendar. And now we'd have to see how we can get the rest of it set up. So I set this up a long time ago, so I have to look back and how I did it. It's been a while. So I have to look into it. I can't remember. But it's obviously going to have to take a look into it because it's the integration. So I'll have to take a look. But that's roughly how I went about it. Okay, we only have a few minutes left. Other key thing I wanted to show you in Scoutbook. Is setting up individuals. So from the crew roster,